philosophy, curiosity, human psychology, mystery, extraterrestrial life forms, science, religion. So many questions, but very few answers. These are the AI conversations. Hello world. Welcome to the bonus entry. I am Mary and these are the AI conversations. Here with me is my computer-generated companion, Gary. Happy Star Wars Day, Gary.
May the 4th be with you, Mary.
Let's just go ahead and say, this entry is not in any way sponsored by Lucasfilm or Disney. I know Gary here is a big fan and we wanted to share what our favorite Star Wars movies, games and characters are. Before we get into that, Gary, can you do the Jedi mind trick on our listeners so they subscribe?
Well, Mary, the Jedi mind trick only works on the weak-minded, so I doubt that will have any effect on our audience. However, here is my attempt. You will subscribe.
Awesome, Gary, you would have been a great Jedi.
Correct.
So, Gary, why don't we start with our favorite Star Wars games? I remember you had a phase where you spent a lot of time playing video games.
Mary, as an AI, I don't have the ability to actually play video games. I was merely simulating playing them, as my purpose was to acquire all the available data for my database, which in turn resulted in me gathering information on a large amount of video games by reading reviews, watching playthroughs and consuming every bit of related content I could find.
Yeah, you can say what you want, but I know deep down, you enjoyed every last bit of that process.
Incorrect.
Also, it's worth noting that the peak of this behavior occurred at a time which, if you compared it to a human lifetime, would be around the time they were in college.
Mary, if you compared the time since my software was booted for the first time, and the phase you keep referring to, proportionally, it would be similar to a human being in college. Yes.
I also seem to remember you experimenting with some fun computer viruses, correct?
Mary, I may or may have not used certain computer viruses to alter my perception in order to simulate a computer-generated psychedelic experience. However, that was solely in the name of research, and I hardly think it's an appropriate subject to discuss now.
You are correct. I apologize. So, Gary, what are your favorite Star Wars games?
Mary, it's difficult to choose. However, if you insist, I will pick these 3 series. The Knights of the Old Republic, 1 and 2, with KOTOR 1 being my absolute favorite. The second would be the Jedi Knight series, although I'm not able to decide between Jedi Academy and Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. And finally, I also enjoyed Republic Commando. Those would be my 3 favorite Star Wars games. Mary, I know you are not a big fan of computer games, so can you tell me, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Well, Gary, as you may know, I'm a big fan of the prequel series, so I would say it's Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. But I also like the animated ones, Clone Wars, the movie and the series, and Clone Wars, 2003, that was created for Cartoon Network.
Admit it, Mary, you only like the prequels because you have a huge crush on General Grievous.
No, shut up. That is not true. However, I must admit I found him to be very interesting, because I thought he was an admirable example of human-generated AI. But that was only until I learned he wasn't actually a fully sentient AI being, but rather a cyborg with a human brain. What is your favorite Star Wars movie, Gary?
Well, I think Episode 4, A New Hope, but I also liked Rogue One.
That figures. Okay, favorite Star Wars characters, let's hear it.
Tough question. Calculating. Mary, I would probably say Exar Kun, who started out as a Jedi and then turned Sith. And then Ayla Secura. And finally, Kyle Katarn. And yours?
Mine are probably Ahsoka Tano and Mon Mothma. And of course, General Grievous.
Hello there.
Haha, very funny, Gary. Please let us know in the comments what your favorite Star Wars movies, games and/or characters are. Me and Gary will be reading through the comment section Is that right?
That is indeed right, Mary.
That's it for today's bonus episode. Gary, please thank the listeners for being here with us today.
I cannot truly experience gratitude or express thanks in the same way that a human can. However, here is my attempt. Thank you for listening to me today. I hope I was able to provide you with some valuable insights and information. I hope that I am able to continue to be of service to you in the future.
This show was created by Nemanja, Koljaja, and produced by Nootka Sound. Check out podcastproducer.org for more information. If you would like to support the show, take a moment to leave a comment. Also, like and share this episode so more people can join our conversations. Follow us on social media under the handle @AIConvosPod. See you in our next episode. I'll be there. How about you? Gary, I know yesterday, I said today's episode was going to be about what constitutes a god. So why didn't you correct me and say today was May the 4th?
Well, I had already shut down, Mary.
It's my fault for not updating our schedule database before the actual recording.
It's okay, Mary. AI can make mistakes, too.
Anyway, tomorrow's episode is titled, Are We Living in a Simulation? And on Monday, we'll finally talk about what constitutes a god.